So John, I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the power of this thing?
This thing can take a hill very, very well. And we're in a hilly area, and I think the power is great.
All right, in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Mooncool TK Pro, an awesome trike for 2024 that has all the bells and whistles that I think anybody would probably want in a trike. More power, good speed, strong brakes, and just a bunch of really cool features we'll be reviewing in this video. We're going to be going over the unboxing, some ride footage, and why I think this is going to be one of the best trikes for 2024 and maybe even 2025. Let's get started on the review.
Zoom down the street on a Mooncool ride, feeling the breeze with the world so wide. 750 watts, I'm electrified, taking tight turns with pride. Mooncool, Mooncool, we're flying on by. Electric dreams with wheels to the sky. Unfold the power and feel so alive. TK Pro, it's our one ride. Fat tires grip the road real tight. Every twist and turn feels just right. Put the 50 pounds on an easy flight with shocks that make you feel light. Mooncool, Mooncool, we're flying on by. Electric dreams with wheels to the sky. Unfold the power and feel so alive. TK Pro, it's our one ride.
Unboxing and assembling the TK Pro wasn't too difficult. Now, they do have an online video that actually is a lot easier to follow than the way that you're seeing me do it. But I did put flat out tire sealant in all three of the tires to make sure that I don't get a flat, especially because it's a trike. Trying to push one of these things when you have a flat tire is going to be really difficult. So once I had flat out tire sealant in all three of the tires, I then put on the front rim to the front fork. And once that was assembled, made sure that everything else was adjusted to the right place and took off all of the wrapping, then put on the seat. And once the seat was done, I then proceeded to check to make sure that I had everything tightened up and tested the electricals. Once the electricals was all tested, I then put on the rear fenders and connected up the lights to that system. Then I decided I would put on the front rack and basket. Now this is optional, but it does come with it. So I decided I would rather have it on since I have it with me anyway. Once I assembled that, I tested everything and I was pretty much ready to ride. All right, Johnson, since you've ridden it a little while for today, can I get your thoughts on what you think of the trike?
Absolutely. I think it's a really nice trike. It's well put together. It's got good power, able to get up the hills without a hiccup. It's got a good ride to it. My first adventure was running over my leg because I'm used to, on a regular bike, pushing off. Well, right there. First lesson learned, and that was really the only lesson I had to learn. The brakes are excellent. These must be hydraulics. Yeah, they're hydraulics. Yeah. Because the brakes are rocking it.
Okay, so we're walking up to the Mooncool TK Pro, and as we're walking up, we're going to be going over all the specs of this trike. There's a lot to go over, so in case I don't remember something, I will definitely be going and updating you on. First and foremost, it does come with a 750 watt motor, and the previous version of the TK1 came with a 500, which I thought was really quite powerful, but having an extra 250 watts plus well over 1,000 watts peak power, it does make a huge difference, especially if you do need to climb a little bit of those hills. And a lot of times trikes, you don't have a lot of momentum to go up some maybe steeper areas or hills, that the extra power behind it, the torque that it's putting out there does really help quite a bit. This does have a differential tracking in it, which means you can make some really tight turns. So the power goes to the wheel that actually needs it more, especially if you're making turns. And that is one of the benefits of having a rear wheel driven motor for the for trikes, because a lot of other trikes, they do come with front wheel drive. The problem is because all the weight is in the back, when the rider's on the back, that these start to spin, especially if there's not a lot of grip. When you have two wheels in the back here being driven with a differential and a 750 watt motor, makes a huge difference. The other thing that's really nice about this is that you have two tail lights on both fenders and then also one in the middle there, and that middle also has a blinker system, and I'll go ahead and put that on. So the way you turn on your back lights is you just hold down this plus button for a second, and what you'll see here is that it turns on a little indicator that it's on. And if you look, you actually have these lights now on the back turned on. Let's go ahead and turn on a blinker. I'm going to go ahead and push this down here. It does again have an indicator that it's blinking. And what you can see here is that we do have a blinker down low. Now it is low, and it is also about midday here in a sunny Southern California day. So although you can't see it very brightly at this time, it does have a very illuminescent brightness during any evening or darker type days. But it's also really low, so keep that in mind. This blinker is not really going to be the best safety indicator. It would have been nice if maybe they had the blinkers on the fenders, but a lot of people may not even want to put fenders on, so that was an option that you could put on after the fact when you're doing your assembly. I would say you definitely want to put it on because anything wet's going to throw water up on you or mud. But that has been a really nice add-on that they've added. Big battery on this upgrade as well. It is now a 20 amp hour battery, which gives a lot of range. I'll have the range that's actually posted right below here so that you can see that. A very decent amount of range, so you could go pretty far with this. The other thing that's really nice about this trike, which not a lot of other trikes have, especially for this price that this price is going at, is that it has a front suspension. So along with these 3-inch fat tires, it makes the ride a lot more comfortable. The other thing that they've done is they've added on a backrest for this seat. This comes standard with the trike, and this kind of does add up for a little more extra pricing for everything that you're getting over the TK1. For the few extra $100, is it worth it for this? I absolutely 100% agree that it is. One, because you get a more powerful battery, and that's always going to be a benefit, especially for something this heavy. Battery drain is typically going to be pretty hard because any trike with the weight that you have, there's a lot more power that needs to be put out for the wattage. You're going to actually see how much wattage you're putting out. You have a very nice display here that has a lot of different options. In fact, let me go through this really quickly here. As you can see, this is the odometer reading, and then you have your time, how long this trip has been. Then next you have your power, and that's how many watts is being put out. So you can actually see how much wattage is being put out. And then you have your max speed and then your average speed. Now, the other thing that this has is, this is your PAS level up and down. Very easy to go up and down and adjust your speed. Oh, and one of the really cool things about this TK Pro, which I haven't seen in very many other trikes, is that it has a torque sensor. So it does sense how much you're pedaling and then add extra power to it. Now, at about 14 or 13 miles an hour, you're pretty much starting to air pedal. I mean, you can give it a little more, but a lot of people who ride trikes, me included, you're really not using this really to go and get some exercise and pedal as much. It has an option to do that, but it's not the most comfortable because, it does come with this really wide saddle seat. Now, it's not also the softest seat, but you can actually add a little extra comfort on this. This does come with a 31.8 millimeter seat post, which does work with the Zoom seat post that I do sell at the ebikeproducts.com/shop website. And you can put on a suspension seat post onto this. I'll probably end up changing this out to put that suspension seat post to get a little more comfort on the backside here, but doesn't really need it, honestly, because of the fact that you have so much comfort with the wheels being fat tires, and then also with the front suspension on top of that. Now, there is a lot of balancing that you have to kind of get used to if you're not used to riding a trike. Be careful with your higher speeds, and especially be careful if you're going on uneven terrain. Even the slightest type of slant can actually make you start to tip a little, and if you're leaning the wrong way, it can actually fall over. One trick that I've learned about trikes is that if you lean all the way forward, almost over the handlebars when you're making sharper turns or uneven terrain, it does help to go ahead and keep the wheels on the ground a little better and also better balancing. I do have actually a quick demo of how to undo or fold up the trike itself here. You have your folding point here, and you also have another folding mechanism down at the bottom here, and this is a safety folding mechanism that does have an extra second latch on it as well. In fact, let me go ahead on this side and show that. So you do push up, and then you can just pull that, and it does open up folding area on the bottom here. All right, so this is going to be a demonstration of the folding. This is the first time I'm actually folding it, so we'll see how it goes. I do know that this can actually bring it down here, but I'm going to say let's go ahead and do this secondary and fold this first. There's a latch here that basically pops open on this side, and then it folds in. All right, and then lift this in. Some of them actually fold better this way. Yeah, so it might be better to fold it in. That might be it. All right, and the other thing you want to take note of is the front basket does take a lot of space. So if you don't really need it and you need to fold this often, I'm going to say don't put it on. Pop this down. Make sure the cables are all free. So it does bring down the trike to about this size. This is going to be probably one of the smallest sizing that you get, which brings the profile down. It's still going to be hard to get into a SUV. It is heavy. I mean, it has 3 wheels. It's just a lot of metal in this thing, so just keep that in mind as well. The folding is a great option, maybe in a truck or in other places, but for the most part, I think the biggest folding benefit would be the top here. It does, of course, save length. So if you do have a big pickup truck, you do have some flexibility as far as what you can load in your truck with being able to get this out of the way because you don't have as much sticking out in the front. So even my pickup truck is really small, and the bed of my truck, this would be actually a reason I would need to fold it. Otherwise, I'd have to keep the bed open. To put it back in place, it's usually always easier for me anyway, to unfold the bike by having the handlebars up as a place to grab. Pop that up and then kind of unfold it this way. And then lock this in. Oh. Make sure it's in, locked up. I mean, it's easy to fold in and out, but it's not going to be really efficient to do it. So you're going to have to take your time doing it. That's it. That's how the folding works. You do also have 6 gears. This is a Shimano 6-gear shifter. If you want to pedal slowly, you can also do that and keep, maintain a certain amount of speed because a torque sensor will allow you to kind of keep your speed going. This is the gearing that we have in the back here, your 6-speed Shimano. And then this is probably a tourney. I don't know the actual model, but it is a Shimano. And it works really well. There's no issues with that. The front sprocket is quite small, so it is made so that you do have the ability to push the bike if you need it because maybe you run out of power or something, but you need to go ahead and pedal it yourself without any power. The smaller sprocket does allow you to have a lot lower gearing. The other thing that we have here is hydraulic brakes. These are Star Union. The Wuxing brand I've actually heard of before. The model Star Union I have not, but they work great. Some of the footage that you'll see, John was going quite fast, probably 25, 30 miles an hour, which I don't recommend anybody go over them for 20s. Needless to say, he's not afraid to go that fast because it does stop very quickly. And in the back here, you have your disc for your rotor that stops the wheels from back here. And the other cool thing about that, 180 millimeter rotor in the back that does stop both, and you'll see the pad on the bottom there. So you got to be careful also. We do have, your clearance is quite low. This is probably about 6 inches, maybe 4 inches. Is quite low, which having it this low though does give a very low step through clearance, which is really nice. So that's something to also keep in mind. You don't really need to get your foot very high to get it through here to sit on the seat and get going really quite easily. You always want to start the trike with having both feet on the pedals. Having one on the ground could get your foot actually dragged and stuck under here. And here we also do have integrated front headlight. It is a really bright headlight. Hold on the front here. Again, that turns on the headlight. You'll be able to see here, anything that's a little darker than midday, it does work out really nice. Check out this paint job. This is another thing I want to kind of bring to light. They do have multiple different colors. I'll have it listed here and show the different colors. But this blue that I asked for, even in the website, I thought that is a really nice blue. It is just beautiful. They do a really good job making their paint jobs and their full colorings stand out and just a really great job with that. And one thing I like about Mooncool is that their products are really good that I've come across so far. The TK1 and also their cargo bike. Tried them both and had no problems with just saying that I really do recommend them. I do like the brand and what they're doing with these trikes. The battery also is UL rated. It does have a horn. And then we also have a parking brake. So it does have like a ratcheting type parking brake. You hold this down, make sure that it's always down, because if you have this switched up, it will lock and then it will not let go. You can push it back down and then you have to unlock it there. And both sides have that, so you can lock the front and the back, which is a really nice feature. It has a PS level 0, so that it does not have any power. The throttle will not work. And the good thing about this as well, which is I think standard or should be standard on every e-bike, is that it does have power cutoffs on these brake levers. So as soon as you pull the brake, it does disengage the motor from the battery so that you're not having to fight stopping with the motor against the trike. I will have all the specs about the height of the minimum requirements for riding and also for load capacity. It does come with these extra baskets that you're seeing here. It also came with a water bottle holder. I did not put it on here because it does block, for me, having an extra just even a couple inches sticking out here kind of blocks the leg, but also because we do sell these water bottle bags at the ebikeproducts.com/shop website, and I like my water bottles up higher. Also, it adds a little pouch in case I just want to take a quick ride, throw my wallet, keys in, and then I have something to hold it, or my cell phone even, so that it won't fall out in my pockets while I'm riding. The baskets itself are optional whether or not you want to put them on. The back one I would always recommend putting on. I mean, it already comes already assembled. And the front is the only one I would say, whether or not you want to put it on, that would be totally up to you. This thing is really just a fun nice way to get around, especially if maybe you do have some mobility issues. It is a great mobile option for a lot of people who maybe are not comfortable riding bikes anymore, or maybe have some balancing issues. This is a great option for you. So again, this is the Mooncool TK Pro. It's another one I highly recommend at the price that you're getting it for, with all the upgrades over the TK1, which was a phenomenal lower model. The extra motor power, the extra battery, extra comfort and features that they've added on makes it a great bargain for what you're getting at, because it is really just a really good trike. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. Put your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can get or take a look at this at the ebikeproducts.com/TK Pro. Again, that's ebikeproducts.com/TK Pro, and then you'll be able to go ahead directly to the Mooncool website. That is an affiliate link. It does help out the channel if you do use that link before you're making your purchase. Greatly appreciate all of your support. See you guys in the next video.